Hello fam, let's dive into this video.
In a quiet, sunny village, there lived a young woman named Salome. She was the kind of beauty that made people stop and stare. Her chocolate brown skin shimmered in the sunlight. Her thick braids flowed down her back, and her eyes sparkled like the stars on a clear night. But Salome wasn't just beautiful. She was also kind and hardworking. She was one of the best weavers in the village, creating stunning, colorful wrappers that everyone admired. Her reputation as a virtuous woman added to her allure. Salome was known as the village Vir.Gin, a woman who held herself to high moral standards, waiting for true love and marriage before giving herself to anyone. Many men in the village sought Salome's hand in marriage. They would bring her gifts, baskets of yams, jewelry, and even goats, hoping to win her favor. But Salome wasn't interested in their shallow advances. She longed for a man who loved her for who she was, not just for her beauty or her virginity. Her parents, however, were growing impatient. "Salome," her father would say, "you're not getting any younger. We want to see you settled and give us grandchildren before we grow too old." Among her suitors was Akume, the son of a village chief. Akume was a successful carpenter, well respected because of his father's position and his skill in crafting furniture for the king's palace. Akume approached Salome's parents and pleaded with them to persuade her. The chief himself visited Salome's father, saying, "Salome, my daughter, Akume is a fine young man. Please consider his proposal. He is serious about you." Out of respect for her father, Salome decided to give Akume a chance. He was charming and seemed genuine, and before long, they were engaged. But as the wedding approached, Akume's true intentions began to show. He repeatedly tried to convince Salome to sleep with him, arguing that they were practically married. Salome held her ground, but one day, out of love and trust, she relented. That night, something strange happened. No matter what Akume did, he couldn't penetrate her. The pain was unbearable for Salome, and she asked him to stop. They tried again the next day and the day after that, but it was always the same. Frustrated, Akume revealed his true colors. "I only wanted to marry you because I wanted to be the first," he sneered. "What good is it if I can't even have you?" Heartbroken, Salome begged him to be patient, but Akume's pride and anger got the better of him. He ended the engagement and told the entire village about her condition. Soon, at this point, Salome was desperate to confirm if her condition was truly as she had come to believe. After Akume left, more men came forward to date her, and she decided to test her condition with any man she dated. The next man tried, but still could not penetrate her. Several men followed, but none could succeed. The news of her condition quickly spread throughout the village, making Salome a major topic of discussion. She was called names, and some even accused her of not having a private part at all. When she walked through the village, men would point fingers at her, some laughing and whispering. This was deeply frustrating for Salome. Gradually, all the men in the village began to avoid her, and with time, no man approached her anymore. The woman who had once been admired by all was now rejected by everyone. Salome's parents, devastated by their daughter's suffering, sought help from the village midwife. The midwife examined Salome and confirmed that her condition was rare. Her private part was too small, making intimacy and childbirth impossible. They tried every remedy the village medicine men suggested, but nothing worked. Despite her sadness, Salome poured her heart into her weaving, finding solace in her craft. Salome continued her life quietly, focusing on her weaving. Her colorful wrappers brought joy to her customers, even as she carried the weight of her sadness. One day at the market, she crossed paths with a man named Ugonna. He was a successful trader from a neighboring village, known for buying and selling textiles. Ugonna had heard of Salome's exceptional weaving skills and wanted to see her work for himself. When Ugonna saw Salome's wrappers, he was amazed. "These are the most beautiful pieces I've ever seen," he said with genuine admiration. Salome couldn't help but smile at his kind words. They began working together, and over time, they became good friends. Ugonna's cheerful personality and respect for her made her feel at ease. As the weeks turned into months, Ugonna realized he was falling in love with Salome. One evening, after a busy day at the market, he confessed his feelings. "Salome," he said gently, "I love you. I admire your strength, your kindness, and your talent. Will you give me a chance to make you happy?" Salome was stunned. She had grown fond of Ugonna, but her past experiences made her hesitant. She began avoiding him, hiding whenever she saw him approaching her weaving shop. Ugonna was confused and hurt, but he didn't give up. One day, he surprised her with a visit. "Salome," he said softly, "if I've done anything to upset you, please forgive me. I only want to understand." His sincerity touched her heart. She decided to open up, asking for some time to gather her thoughts. A few days later, Ugonna invited her to the riverside. The sun was setting, painting the sky in hues of orange and pink. "Salome," he said, "you can trust me. Please tell me what's troubling you." Feeling safe in his presence, Salome shared her story. She told him about her condition, the humiliation she had faced, and her fears of being rejected again. As she spoke, tears rolled down her face. Ugonna listened intently, his heart breaking for her. When she finished, Ugonna took her hand. "Salome," he said, "you are more than your condition." "I don't care about that. I care about you. Love doesn't have to be defined by what others expect. Let me show you that we can create our own happiness." Salome was deeply moved by his words. For the first time in a long while, she felt hope. Salome and Ugonna began a new chapter of their lives together. He kept his promise, showing her love and affection in ways that didn't depend on physical intimacy. They shared laughter, dreams, and quiet moments under the stars. Ugonna found creative ways to express his love, making Salome feel cherished and valued. Their relationship didn't go unnoticed. The villagers, who had once mocked Salome, were now intrigued. How could a woman with her condition find happiness? Slowly, their whispers turned into admiration as they saw how Ugonna treated her with respect and devotion. Salome's weaving business flourished even more with Ugonna's support. Together, they expanded her craft to neighboring villages, spreading her vibrant designs far and wide. Salome's joy returned, and her parents were relieved to see her smiling again. One day, while sitting by the riverside, Salome looked at Ugonna and said, "You've taught me that love isn't about perfection. It's about acceptance and finding joy in the little things." Ugonna smiled and held her close. "And you've shown me what true strength looks like," he replied. Their love story became an inspiration, teaching the village that happiness comes in many forms. Salome and Ugonna had been married for 2 years, and their love was strong. Ugonna adored Salome, even though she carried a condition that made her heart heavy. Salome often wondered, what if one day Ugonna grows tired of me and leaves? These thoughts haunted her, along with her deep wish to share physical closeness with him and give him children. Ugonna's family did not make things easier. They accused Salome of witchcraft, spreading cruel rumors that she had eaten her own children and made up her condition to hide the truth. They came to her home often, hurling insults and making her cry. But Ugonna stood by her side, fiercely defending her every time. Despite his support, Salome felt isolated and defeated. One day, Salome sat in her shop, tears rolling down her face. An old woman dressed in tattered clothes entered quietly. Salome quickly wiped her tears and greeted the woman. "Hello, Mama. You are welcome. How may I help you?" The old woman smiled weakly. "Thank you, my child. I am poor, and my granddaughter is getting married. I want to buy her a wrapper as a gift. Can you show me the cheapest ones?" Salome showed her the options, but the woman's face fell when she heard the prices. She turned to leave, murmuring, "Thank you, my daughter." "Wait, Mama," Salome called. She handed the woman a beautiful wrapper and said, "Take this for your granddaughter. You don't need to pay. I wish her a happy marriage." The old woman's eyes filled with gratitude. She blessed Salome, her voice trembling with emotion. As she prepared to leave, she paused. "My daughter, I know about your condition. The whispers in the village have reached my ears. I might know a way to help you, though it is a dangerous path." Salome's heart raced. "Please, Mama, tell me." The old woman leaned closer and pointed to the hills. In the silent forest of Ojiji, there is a magical tree called the Tree of Truth. If you drink its sap and make a wish with a pure heart, the tree will grant it. But the journey is not for the faint-hearted. Excited and hopeful, Salome rushed home. When Ugonna returned, she shared everything the old woman had told her. Ugonna was skeptical, but saw the hope in Salome's eyes. "How can we be sure the tree exists?" he asked. "We don't know for sure," Salome admitted, "but we must try." The next morning they set out for Ojiji Forest. The air was heavy, and the dense trees whispered as though alive. Despite their fear, they pressed on, hand in hand. The whispering forest was unlike anything Salome had ever seen. The trees were tall and ancient, their roots twisting like the arms of giants. Strange sounds filled the air, whispers, laughter, and even cries. It was as if the forest were alive. "Stay close," Ugonna said, his voice steady. "We mustn't lose each other." The first trial came when they reached a clearing filled with golden butterflies. They were beautiful, but as Salome tried to walk through, the butterflies surrounded her, blocking her path. Their whispers were harsh. "You are unworthy. Turn back." Salome closed her eyes and remembered Ugonna's words. "I am more than my condition," she whispered. Slowly the butterflies parted, allowing them to pass. As they ventured deeper into Ojiji Forest, the air grew colder, and strange whispers surrounded them. Twigs snapped underfoot, and shadows danced among the trees. Salome held Ugonna's hand tightly, her heart pounding. Suddenly, they encountered a massive snake blocking their path. Its dark scales shimmered, and its eyes glowed like embers. The snake hissed menacingly, refusing to let them pass. "Stay behind me," Ugonna said, pulling out a machete. He swung at the snake, but it was quick and strong. The battle was fierce, and Salome screamed as the snake bit Ugonna on the neck. Summoning all his strength, Ugonna delivered a fatal blow, slicing the snake in two. Ugonna collapsed to the ground, weakened by the snake's venom. Salome cried and did everything she could to draw out the poison, pressing her lips to his wound and spitting out the venom. "Stay with me, Ugonna," she pleaded. Though weak, Ugonna managed to stand with Salome's help. They continued their journey, but the venom had spread, and Ugonna grew weaker with each step. Finally, he fell, unable to go on. "Salome," he whispered, "leave me here. You must reach the tree." "No, I can't leave you," she cried. "You must," he insisted. "It's our only hope." Tears streaming down her face, Salome ran deeper into the forest, guided by the whispers of the trees. At last, she came upon a glowing meadow. In the center stood the tree of truth, its trunk shimmering like silver and its leaves sparkling like stars. Salome approached the tree cautiously, her knees trembling. Its branches swayed. "Great tree," she called out, her voice quivering. "I seek your help." The tree's branches rustled, and a deep, ancient voice echoed. "Salome, you have faced trials of doubt, fear, and trust. Now tell me, what do you truly seek?" Salome hesitated, tears streaming down her face. "I came here because I wanted to be whole, to bear children, and to end my suffering. But none of that matters if I lose Ugonna. Please, save him. Heal him." The tree's voice was solemn. "Are you certain? This is your one wish." "I am sure," she replied, her voice steady. "So be it," the tree said. "Drink from my sap, and your wish will be granted." The tree's sap dripped into her cupped hands. Salome drank and closed her eyes, making her wish. "So be it," the tree said. "Your wish is granted." Salome drank the sweet golden sap and thanked the tree. She ran back to Ugonna and found him sitting up, alive and strong. She hugged him tightly, sobbing with relief. "What happened?" Ugonna asked. Salome explained everything, and his eyes filled with disbelief and love. "You sacrificed your only chance to heal yourself," he said. "Let's go back to the tree." They returned to the tree, hoping Ugonna could make a wish for her. But the tree's voice boomed, "No one who has made a wish or benefited from one can make another." Defeated, but grateful to be alive, Salome and Ugonna left the forest. Though Salome's condition remained, their love grew stronger, for they had faced the impossible and survived together.
Thank you for watching this video. Like and subscribe for more videos.